So welcome to episode 1 of Omniiia Spacecast, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Yeah, and here we are. How's everybody's day been going? Let's go with number 1. Let's go with Quasi. What's up?
Healthy, man. I slept a lot today. I feel really rejuvenated.
There you go. Number 2, Bailey. What's up?
I'm alright.
All right, number 3. But
About to do a bit, but we chilling.
My homie's on house arrest, so every time I have to pull up to his crib, he lives in my neighborhood, but I gotta pull up down the street to his crib so he could chill in the whip. No cap. It's crazy because his monitor be going off in the whip, and this shit is auto-tuned, so it'd be like Yo, I don't think we should imprison people for simple shit like stealing. I don't know. I'm not really like the person to make rules on authority type shit because I'm too lenient.
That may be true, but I don't think we need the people who are in charge right now making the rules either.
Oh, Bailey, I'm an anarchist.
So,
That's good for me. I'm about to do it
for sure.
I'm about to do 30 days in fucking county lockup for speeding.
for no reason.
For speeding. Reckless driving in South Carolina. They sentenced me to 30 days in county jail.
Did you get a lawyer?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's the deal I got with the lawyer.
Damn.
Yeah.
Cause one time I was doing maybe a 30 over, probably it was like 60. I was doing 80 or 90.
They said they caught me going 94 and a 40. I ain't gonna lie.
That's cash.
Give me a fucking break.
She
dude.
said she had to drive 94 to catch back up to you. I hate it when they say that type shit. Like, do you know how fast I had to go to catch up to you?
Yeah, it's
motherfucker, do you know how acceleration versus velocity works?
Yeah, how
you
long
had
were
to.
you fucking sped up to catch up to me?
Yeah, 4.5 seconds, you dumb piece of shit. Go to...
Yeah, she said she was gonna quit if they dropped the charges. So yeah, the prosecutor offered me 30 days in the county jail and $1,200 in fines if I accept.
Fuck South Carolina, dude.
Yeah,
This
back
is
with
why-
that state, bro.
This is why, no bullshit, we gotta encourage all of the new youngins to just call themselves sovereign citizens on some dumbass shit. I
on some
swear.
ANCAP shit.
Dude, like, I don't respect. All right, check it out. Tax code. I want to talk about tax code because I think it is unpatriotic to pay taxes to a government that doesn't fucking represent you. Am I wrong?
That was what it was fought over, I thought. The whole no taxation without representation
The
shit.
whole thing.
But, they've been talking about this thing called fair tax for like over a decade. My aunt's been a big proponent of it for over a decade. It would make sure that everyone inside of America making any kind of purchase of a good or a service, they are the ones paying taxes. No income tax, no property tax, just a straight 20% sales tax and service tax. So a $1 burrito is $1.20. A $1 million yacht is 1.2 mil, right? So it catches everybody, right? So somebody who's here from overseas.
Yeah, wait,
they're
can I
paying the
interject for a sec?
Yeah.
It could potentially get abused, but I feel like that system would be detrimental to people of lower income strata.
It's not, because you're only paying a dime more when you spend $1. It's not any more detrimental
But that dime to the lower class is a lot more than.
Nah, it's not though, because you can't buy shit for a dime, bro. Look, what I'm saying is it catches everybody in between the cracks, right? So like
I get
drug
you,
dealers,
I get
right?
you,
Like,
yeah.
okay, so you're not paying income tax on the money that you earn selling drugs, right? Or on the money you earn selling guns. But when you go to the store to buy whatever commodities you buy for life, you are paying into the tax system the same as anyone making an honest living. They are not being taxed on their income. You are not being taxed on your income, you scumbag, but you're paying the same amount of money as everybody else into the tax system. So is every tourist from a different country who comes into America and uses the American infrastructure and uses American goods and services. They're paying the same amount of tax as a naturalized citizen or a natural born citizen. So it really catches a bunch of tax evasive kind of stuff and like catches it on the exact same amount that everybody pays. Again, $1 burrito is $1.20.
Makes sense.
A 1.0 mil yacht is 1.2 mil.
Yeah.
And
I get it.
When you say 1.2, is it like
$200,000 in tax.
no? Is it $1,200,000, or is it? You know what I'm saying? Or is it 100 million and then $2,000?
So
20%
it's 1
would be
million.
20,000.
200,000.
200,000.
Right, and that 200,000 goes straight into the tax bucket, right? So everybody's like, "Oh, tax the rich, tax the rich." Why not tax everybody?
But what if you're rich and you
20%
make all your
like every
purchases in 1
purchase.
year?
What's that?
You make all your purchases for 5-10 years in 1 year, and you pay those taxes on that, and then you're not paying any taxes for the next 5 to 10 years because you got all your
already
assets.
paid the taxes.
Yeah.
You already did your civic
yeah,
duty. You
yeah.
just thought
You know, I'm
ahead
kinda with it.
before anybody could bring it up to 22% the next year. And I see what you're saying about there's definitely potential for abuse, because what if they just jack it up to 30 because they're corrupt? You know, like
they
that's
could and they
definitely
will,
a thing.
right?
But if it should be written, you know, like, hey, it's gonna be 20 and it's gonna stay 20 for 200 years.
Oh, shit.
You know, moratorium on it. 200-year moratorium. If America survives that long, it will be because of this program, not in spite of this program.
Can I couple your program with something like a carbon tax plus UBI?
Carbon tax is bullshit.
Why?
Bro, before America was America, how many fucking bison did we have in America?
200 million.
Something like that. Yeah, that's fucking you know, like that's a damn good like
just happened to give
academic
a shit.
guess, honestly. And the reason that we no longer have them is obviously because of human intervention. Okay, so wouldn't you say that everybody who went out there and shot 100 fucking buffalo and didn't eat their asses was helping reduce greenhouse gases because of how much methane is produced by a single bison? I mean, we're talking about a huge amount
Man, I
over
guess,
the
but-
amount of people or
now we
cows
have-
in
But those,
But now we have more
those
than-
bison
hold on,
were
Ben,
free
you
ranning
pulled
over
me up.
20 square miles,
Yeah.
not confined to 1 square mile.
No,
on
but we're
farmer's
talking
property.
about the amount produced per unit, right?
But now we have
So,
more than 200
But the amount
million
produced
cows.
per
No,
unit
no,
is
that's what
also
I'm saying is that we
directly
have way
correlated
less.
to the amount diluted by the amount it has to roam.
No, but okay, so what you guys aren't hearing is that there are less cattle and livestock in the US now than there were before the arrival of Europeans, when the bison had the entire continental US. They have been eradicated, and we
What's
have
the
way
biological
less.
makeup of the bison we have, or the livestock we have now compared to the livestock we had back then?
No, basically the same, because evolution doesn't happen that quickly.
Evolution doesn't happen that quickly, but genetic engineering does. And I mean, you look at the chickens, we've got 150%, 200% more fat on them. And you look at the swine, we've got almost 300% more.
That's true, and you do
Like,
have to wonder.
we
like,
made almost like freaks of nature.
So, is what you're asking? What's the difference in methane produced?
Bacon.
Right.
Yeah, that's really what I'm asking is like these freaks of nature we've made by accelerating Mother Nature's process. Is that different from what the natural animals we were producing? Because we don't really have a benchmark, because we don't really have any of these American bison left in the wild.
We do still have American bison.
I mean, we have
and
American
they're,
bison, but
like-
not to the extent that we did.
Right, but we still have them, and we can still study them, and people studied them back then, and like what I'm getting at is no amount of super methane producing cattle.
No, that's not what I'm suggesting, though. I'm saying that if you own a concrete manufacturing plant or an oil refinery, you ought to pay a little bit of tax just because the people aren't gonna live as long.
I see what you mean.
On the refinery? Or
Like off, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I
you're-
mean, if you're a glyphosate manufacturer, yeah, you should be taxed out the ass.
I think that's where
like
lawsuits should come in.
somebody in this country who earns $50,000 effectively pays a higher tax rate than a corporation making millions of dollars. That doesn't make sense.
I mean, yeah, that goes back to the biblical, like, who gave more, if the man who had $1 and gave 50 cents versus the man who had $1,000 and gave $1 or gave $10. Who gave more? Like,
That's a really good point. And honestly, I would say in terms of the concrete, I see what you mean there. Like there are ramifications beyond economics to running a concrete manufacturing. You know, like the amount of mining that you have to do, the chemicals that you have to use, and all that jazz, the runoff and all that. It's a very polluting industry. But in America, it's not that polluting because we have an actual EPA, right? And I know, okay, so this goes against both of us because we're like, oh, the less laws, the better, right? But these are more guidelines for how to do.
And I'm all about
Clean
stewardship.
business.
I think that
Exactly.
there should be better fundamental not policies, but practices rather. It's go ahead. Take shit.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I'm so glad that t-shirt has been covering my face this whole time.
Yep. Most of mine. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we have more of a methane problem with we do now as compared to 200 or 300 years ago.
Is it even methane or is it all of the gases, all of the harmful
Yeah, man,
aerosols
it's all of the
and
gases,
things?
but we were talking about like wild fucking bison.
Yeah.
Compared to like industrialized, like, you know, not even
Throw it in the
agriculture,
door.
like
That's the misconception, bro.
meat to culture.
So this is something that you could absolutely Google right now, like while we're sitting here.
I would if I could, but I can't.
Oh, you don't have your
I
phone on
got you.
No, I don't.
Okay, so there are less livestock alive today in the U.S. than there were bison back in the day.
I don't believe that.
Like based on what? Like your disbelief of like scientific resources that we have to
Based
study?
off of my own ignorance. Nothing with malintent, just based off like, I didn't think that, and I still don't think that until I see the numbers. That's
Right.
all it is.
And that's fine.
So
that's
if we had 2 million bison, but today chickens outnumber us, and today cows outnumber us versus people populations, then no, I don't believe that at all. Especially when we have such a meat market and a beef market, and like a whole, you know.
So I guess maybe. All right. So think about this.
Hey, ChatGPT says
I don't
there-
care what ChatGPT says, dude.
It's a more efficient Google. There are significantly more livestock in the U.S. now compared to when the country was founded.
Crazy.
Yeah, but did you ask it specifically about
Livestock, not
American
animals.
bison?
No, I didn't say shit about bison.
Yeah.
Well, we're not raising bison for, you
No,
know.
but that's what I'm saying, Alexander. Is
I
that
think
there
this
were
dude's
way
bison
more.
argument is kind of bullshit.
No, bro, there were way more bison alive back in
Yeah,
the day.
but you're telling me that
than
bison farts are gonna account for as much
Bro,
carbon
they're
emissions
just a
as
gigantic cow.
yeah, but
So
a cow doesn't motherfucking change the climate, dude. Airplanes do.
Well, okay, so then that shows what side of like the stewardship circle you fall on.
No. Don't move the goalpost, bro.
No, I'm saying that if you're already saying that no amount of livestock methane production, human influenced or otherwise, is as detrimental to the environment as using a jumbo jet for 15 minutes, I'm right there with you, bro, because I definitely have a huge problem with the amount of flights that we
it's ridiculous, right?
Worldwide.
It's crazy.
It is. Well, especially using fossil fuels to do it.
that's the dumb
Because
part.
we could absolutely
make
set up
electric jets.
slingshots, magnetic slingshots, and
This nigga said sling.
My man, dude.
well,
No,
okay,
dude,
so
he's right.
I'm being facetious. I'm talking about
come on.
They do that with drones.
suborbital. You're not quite leaving the atmosphere, but you're being
Oh,
slung. by
baby, you know you can't
by
break the
a-
firmament, dude. Come on.
What? Come on, man. No Hyperborea. No Tartaria.
Check
Let's
it out.
talk
So
about
once
what's
you reach
provable and
outer
real.
space, the reason every satellite launch is a parabolic arch is because they can't escape.
Well, it's because they don't want to escape in their terms. In their terms, they say they don't want to escape the gravity.
Because
of
that's
Earth.
how you get a geostationary orbit.
Exactly. But you know how you do that actually is with helium. And that's why we have a helium deficiency on Earth. They're actually going to ban, they've been talking about banning helium balloons because we're running out of helium.
What do we put in our balloons to make them float?
I mean,
Lithium?
anything lighter than our air mixture. Or we could just do away with floating balloons.
Or
because
hydrogen.
It's more important to be able to
Hydrogen
use the
balloons.
Hydrogen is flammable.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was about to pull out a lighter.
Okay, Hindenburg.
Exactly. Which I think is funny that that one tragedy happened and it's like, no more hydrogen.
Have you seen all the old documents and pictures and all that jazz of all of the rigid airships that they used to have in New York City and other major capitals around the world?
I watched the one film of the Hindenburg and I was like, okay, I'm sold. Bad idea.
Yo, and that's exactly what they did with that fucking Challenger mission. That's why nobody wanted to go to space after the fucking school teacher died.
Bro, check it out. It's all propaganda.
Yep. That's why everybody that went up in that fucking space shuttle that quote unquote died, how come they either have a fucking perfect clone, right? Literally a clone. Dude, Google this shit. Google it. You can fucking find it. It's right there. One of the clones or whatever, the people who
The
look
originals.
exactly like
Yeah.
he looks exactly like the guy who died, quote unquote. He created an aerospace firm, and the logo is the Challenger, the very specific looping trail that the Challenger had before it exploded.
Yep.
That is his logo with a cow with a jetpack. And and it's the exact fucking spiral. And it's the same dude. And all of these other people stayed in their same fields, quote unquote, after the explosion.
Dude, what?
One,
Yes. Google.
cover up of the real cause. Some theories suggest that the official explanation of an O-ring failure is just one of the rocket's boosters. Wait, hold on.
Are you asking ChatGPT?
Yeah, bitch.
Yep.
Bro, don't.
A particularly
Bro, ask Jappy
chap.
GPT who won the
ChatGPT.
shut up. Who won the 2020 election. Go ahead and ask
No,
it.
don't ask it that.
No, go ahead and ask it. See what it says.
It'll say Joseph R. Biden, the only person on the Democratic.
It'll say, hey man, we don't really fucking know.
Joseph Biden won the 2020.
Man.
Yo, I literally voted in the Democrat primary this year so that I could vote for RFK Jr.
How did that
Guess
work
who
out?
wasn't on the ballot?
Yep.
Guess who was the only motherfucker on the ballot?
Yeah, I don't think we should vote this year, guys.
Oh, I'm voting this year. I'm voting for a fucking convicted felon this year. Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Honestly, I want to vote for RFK Jr. If he's on the ballot, I'm voting for RFK Jr.
You would vote for RFK Jr.
Yeah, because he's a
sure
fucking
would.
environmentalist who also doesn't trust big companies because he has spent his entire life fighting them in court. His entire life is devoted to helping the little man fight against the giant corporations and preserving wildlife. That guy is like a fucking hero to most of the people in this car if we would take him seriously. But for some reason, we are told not to.
And yet,
His establishment.
Because of his voice and because he sounds like this when he speaks and everybody just focuses on the voice.
No, because I would vote for Bernie Sanders and he's from Vermont. They sound like cattle people.
I mean, okay, but do you know anything about RFK Jr.? Do you actually? Okay, this ought to show you how much you should want to vote for this guy. He is the only human being
is he on the
ever
ballot?
to run what?
Is he on the ballot?
He's going to be on the national ballot. Yeah,
Okay.
he's just not on the blue ticket.
Okay.
So he's the only person ever in the entire history of the United States to ask for Secret Service coverage while he's running for president and be denied. Okay, this includes so Obama was covered by Secret Service 2 years before the election that he was elected the first time in. Clinton, Bush, Gore.
Is this guy a congressman or anything?
Who? RFK Jr.?
Yeah.
He's an incredibly important public figure and
No,
politician okay, so listen,
No,
not
he's
everybody who ran for president has been a congressman.
Like
Okay.
Trump, right?
No, but Trump wasn't denied Secret Service.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
But-
had money though.
But RFK Jr. has fucking Kennedy money. Are you kidding me? Like, he's literally a Kennedy.
But he's not dead.
No, okay,
Yeah,
but
they're
here's
all
the thing,
dead when they die.
his uncle, our former president,
Y'all
was
want to bring
assassinated.
back? Yeah.
His
I was
father
about to say.
was
Hold on.
assassinated.
Y'all niggas.
He absolutely faces that same kind of pressure. Somebody just the other day at one of his events came up to him and had like fake documents about being a marshal and like a federal agent, and he had a backpack full of fucking guns. Okay, the other day, somebody broke into RFK Jr.'s house. Okay, he got arrested for breaking into RFK Jr.'s house, got released a couple hours later, and went back to RFK Jr.'s house and broke in again. Right? Okay, so all this shit is going on, and he's the only person in U.S. history to be denied Secret Service coverage while he's running for president. His father and uncle were both assassinated. He's having weird shit go on in his life.
And he's still not being given coverage. Do you guys know that there's only one person in the entire United States who can make that call to deny someone that coverage?
president.
The president. It's literally Joseph R. fucking Biden who's saying
So he
no.
wants that nigga dead
Exactly,
and gone.
he wants that motherfucker dead
Dead
and
and
gone. Yes, bro. Dead and gone. Dead and gone. That's T.I., right?
Probably.
That's fucking Paper Trail, 2008, 2009.
Wait, is T.I. Diddy?
Dead and gone.
No,
Dead
motherfucker,
and
what?
gone.
I don't know, nigga. I'm not.
T.I., Paper Trail, 2008. That was the
You
one
gotta
with
turn your black card after that. Is T.I. Diddy?
Get fly like
Juicy
yeah,
What the
like
fuck?
planes. If you could be at the border, I got visas in my name. I was like, I'm all day. But I found make a money.
Please, God, tell me that was not coming from Bailey.
Bars?
That was for me.
Bars?
Bars.
Oh yeah, in case you guys didn't know, Bailey has bars.
Yeah, Bailey
actually
does.
do.
I am very well aware.
I
Dog.
know you have bars, bro. Fine.
I'll drop them. I'll drop them.
I know.
Hey, let me throw on a beat for you, bro.
Okay.
Check it.
It's got to be high BPM. I can't do slow shit. I can't do Cali West Coast shit.
BPM.
Yes, high BPM. I'm a hyper motherfucker.
I'm just gonna throw something on.
Yeah,
for the
that was
meantime.
actually dope. Who the fuck is doing that right now? Yeah. Wait, go the fuck back to
Never bring a knife to a gunfight. I'm always doing right when it's done right.
Hey, run that back. The tappy tap.